Introduction to Ancient Rome, Unit 2. By the end of this video, you should be able to describe the different ways that geography affected life in ancient Rome, explain why Rome was an ideal place to build a city, describe the three groups of people who were influential in early Rome, and identify the types of government that ruled early Rome. Geography of Italy. Italy is located on a boot-shaped peninsula. It's always easy to find Italy on the map because it really does look like a shoe. It's divided north to south by the Apennine Mountains. There's very fertile farmland along the river valleys in the north, but in the south the soil is much more like Greece. It's rocky, it's barren, and it's difficult to farm in the southern part of Italy. The geography of Rome. Rome is located near the central coast. It's about 18 miles inland on the Tiber River. It's a center of trade, and it's protected from invasion by the sea. The city is literally built on 7 hilltops, which makes it an easy place to defend from a military standpoint. This is what one of the ancient Roman historians had to say about the location of Rome. It's a direct quote from Livy's The Early History of Rome. Not without reason did gods and men choose this spot for the site of our city, the salubrious or healthful hills, the river to bring us produce from the inland regions, and seaborne commerce or trade from abroad, the sea itself near enough for convenience, yet not so near as to bring danger from foreign fleets, our situation in the very heart of Italy. All these advantages make it, of all places in the world, the best for a city destined to grow great. The origins of Rome. One legend says that the city of Rome was founded by a pair of twin brothers, Remus and Romulus, who were the sons of a priestess and the Roman god of war, Mars. Now, the sons were abandoned and were raised by a mother wolf, and then they found the city and actually got into a fight with each other, and Romulus wound up killing Remus, and it's Romulus for whom the city is named. That's one story. Another story says that Aeneas, who was a Trojan war hero and the son of Venus and a mortal man, founded the city after he fled from Troy when it was defeated by the Greeks at the end of the Trojan War. At any rate, the foundation of Rome is a little bit mysterious in terms of exactly who were the first people to be there, but from whatever people started the settlement, it grows to be the greatest city in the ancient world. Let's talk about the early populations in Italy. There are 3 groups, just like there were with the Greeks. In Italy, we're talking about, first of all, the Latin people, who were herders and farmers. They settled in the hills that would become Rome, even though they likely weren't originally from that region. And eventually they organized free cities, and those cities made agreements or formed leagues of protection for their defense. And they are considered to be the first Roman people. So these are the Latin people. The second group of people who are influential in ancient Italy are actually the Greeks, who built colonies in southern Italy and the surrounding islands. Because that soil was not as rich and fertile as the soil in the northern part of Italy, they also brought with them their knowledge of growing grapes and olives. Those were the crops that they cultivated. And they also brought with them Greek styles of sculpture, architecture, and literature. So there are a lot of similarities in the way that the Greek culture formed and then the way that the Greek culture eventually influences the Roman culture. The final group that's influential in the early population of Italy are the Etruscans, and they are people from the northern part of Italy. They lived in city-states, and they were very skilled in shipbuilding, jewelry making, metalworking, and engineering. In fact, it's the Etruscans who come up with the idea and the method for forming the arch, which is going to be one of the most famous features of Roman architecture. The Etruscans eventually moved south toward the Latin settlements, and because they were better organized and had a superior military, they were able to gain control of the region. And it's the Etruscans who really take those early Latin settlements around the area of Rome and start to build the city itself. Early government in Rome. The first leaders of Rome were kings. Rome was a monarchy. In fact, there were reportedly about 7 kings who controlled the city, and the last of the kings was Tarquin the Proud, who was known to be sort of a cruel dictator, almost like a tyrant. And he was overthrown in 509 BC. When the monarchy ended, it was replaced with a republican form of government, which literally means for the people. And the main feature of the republican government is going to be that they elect representatives to make the laws and govern the people. Republican government, in fact, the Republic of Rome, will be our next topic. But this concludes this video. Make sure that you have all the information that you need on your study guide. And if you need to rewind or watch this video again, please feel free.